Hello there, this is DrIzixs with a whole new series of Crusader Kings 2. This time we are using the Game of Thrones mod. Yes. Now, before I begin, once again a warning, I'll probably mispronounce horribly lots and lots of things, but I'll do my best. Second, I have not read any of the books, but I have enjoyed the series that was on the television since all that. And what's more, it's my own sort of investigations and such of the world. I found it kind of interesting. So, what's our campaign going to be like? So I think we're going to start at the beginning of our 300-year-ish type period here, some sort of or a conquest era. We're going to do a custom setup because, as I am fairly new to the mod and all that, I think I'm going to actually avoid any of the major players. And instead, as I sort of learn a little bit about the ins and outs of what's going on here, and as well as the crazy purple sea here in the doomed Valerian type territories, I'm going to be this guy. No, not that guy. This guy, Valentin, who I think his descendants end up being like a first sword of Bravos or something like that. Anywho, so I'm going to be playing this guy, Merchant. Well, on my channel, I've not played Merchant Republics before, but they are a little bit different than the whole feudalism thing or the tribal stuff, which I did my first playthrough on after the end. And so, here we go. Let's make sure Iron Man is octave. There's a lot of options here. I'm going to use it on, let it hang out on the default settings here. Why? Because why not? Yes. Starts the game. We're going to be Bravos. Hooray! Now, I'm not the top tier title in Bravos here. I am one of the merchanty type people that are involved in the country and the families and all that. So we're loading the game. Let's get ready, folks, for some Games of Thrones. So, alright, I think this is sort of the basic stuff here. So, the OSC Merchant Republic government. Cultural effects prefers to raid overseas with ships if looting is allowed. A traditional anti-slavery culture. Groovy. Playing as a patrician within a Merchant Republic is not entirely dissimilar from playing a feudal lord. You are still after more holdings, and you need an heir to your family. However, leadership of the Republic changes between the 5 major patrician families through special elections. Patricians can also build a trade network of trade posts, even in the counties of other powers. So we can build trade posts, and we can hold these things, and we can also hold tribal holdings without any penalties. We can build castles and things like that. Can imprison subjects without special reasons. Cannot revoke titles without special reasons, and can revoke titles from tribal governments, vassals of another religion, without objection from their vassals. We are the Moonsinger religion. We're an ancient religion of Western Essos, whose followers are driven out by the Valerian freehold, but were able to take refuge in the free city of Bravos. As the city's founders, they have its greatest temple. So the priests, the temple holders, can inherit titles. Moonsinger's men can take up to 7 lovers, slaves, or captives as concubines. Only applies to certain cultures and governments. And there is and can exist no bloodshed. It is traditionally anti-slavery religion. So no slavery for my dude. Okay. So before we unpause or anything like that, we should probably get our situation sorted out. We have a wife and we have a kid. This kid's named Cosmo. Cosmo? Neat! Our wife is this lady here. She is kind of stubborn, but that's okay. And we are, of course, this dude. We are cruel, but we are diligent, envious, and wrathful. So we're like a really angry guy. We're a poor fighter, so let's try to avoid any duels and things like that. And yeah, we are a gruff diplomat. We're like, let's be friends, and everyone's like, I guess. Anywho, so that's that. So I should probably choose an ambition. Now, there are a few things here that are a little different than normal. So we got Become Exalted, which is normal. Improved Combat Ability, which I believe is a Game of Thrones specific one here. And Fall in Love, and have a daughter. Have 5 children. You know me and having big families. Carry on my legacy. Excellent. Adopt lifestyle. Hobby or pleasure. Obtain Valerian steel. Should be pretty cool for successful. Grooming heir. Well, we already kind of got one here. So let's go with... We're going to have 5 children, because we're starting our dynasty off. We want to start it off right. So have a large family and many children to carry on his legacy. Okay. Alright, we also need a focus. Now, we're kind of in the intrigue type stuff here. And we're not necessarily good at the other stuff. It could become a seduction thing. You know how much I love that, but I think I might want to go with something else this time. And my stewardship is kind of terrible. Tempted to go for rulership. Yeah, let's go for rulership. We're going to become a good ruler. Try to govern well. Excellent. All right, let's go for that. Our son lacks an educational focus, so we want him to be good at the stuff. We also want him to be eventually elected to be the guy in charge of the stuff, so let's go with the diplomatic education. Actually, he's rowdy and willful. Doesn't work so well here. Idolizer. That doesn't work there. Rowdy. Doesn't work there. Could become good steward type person here. Brooding and playful. It might also be good on education. Yeah, we'll fit it well here. He'll become well educated. Plus, he already has some good stuff going on here. We also got some council positions. Now, we are, I guess in some ways, kind of lucky in that we don't necessarily have the... there's lots of minor titles we can do here. Designated heir. Well, let's keep that kid, generally. Bodyguards, we can get some bodyguards going. That would be pretty cool. Food taster, you know, and all these other things. There's so much built into this mod that one of the reasons I'm kind of starting small on my first campaign in it is to sort of learn some of the ins and outs here. So, yeah, about that. But yeah, we got apparently a council position open. Let's look around and see if we can improve any of this here. So, Chief Scribe, Stewardship. Right, this is going to throw me off with the colors and such. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you are the blue guy. We could have someone better, my wife specifically. But, yeah, the Justicar, whatever. He's pretty good. And then there's this guy, who my general type person. He is pretty generally awesome. Lord Treasurer. Which is apparently another green slot. So there's apparently all sorts of craziness here. We still need a court physician, so Spy Master option. Court physician. There really isn't anyone that fits the requirements there, so we might want to go work on that here. We have important decisions. We could shut the gates. Well, we're going to work on recruiting a court physician, I think. We could hold a feast and things like that. Ask the Iron Bank for a loan. I don't know. 25% interest sounds terrible. Can't enter the slave trade because we don't allow that here. Also, our religion is not agreeing with it. Granting honorary titles. Show owners of Alerian blades. So you can use some of these decisions to effectively find out information about stuff. So let's go ahead and do the Alerian blade event here, and it'll show you where all the blades are. So like King Torin, Stark here wields ice. And Lord Edric has Long Claw, and so on and so forth. And Aegon II of Targaryen fame has Blackfire. And just I'll give you some more information on the sort of inheritance rules for the blades. So they are. Look at the tooltip. And the dragons are the same things. Dragon riders, untamed dragons. Untamed dragons are wild dragons, dragon eggs. So we could potentially get in a position where we could try to get some dragon eggs going, or taming dragons, or all sorts of cool stuff. But it's really hard to do unless you are of the Valerian Helios here. So we got a dragon here with some parentage, and incapable or non-human, which does some stuff. Dragon -50, but not for martial. So Aegon II is the friend slash the dragon of Alerian the Black Dread is the dragon slash friend of our buddy Aegon II of the High Valerian fame here. So there's that going on here. Okay, so there's also blood feuds and things like that, and no one has a blood feud with us. Yay! We'll worry about some of these minor titles later. But we're gonna start off with recruit a court physician. You have sent messengers and scouts out in all directions to scour the realm for skilled physicians that would be willing to take up residence in your court. Word should reach you shortly that they managed to find a suitable candidate. Hopefully they will not bring back a quackslaver. Quackslaver? I hope I do not have to wait long. Need to finish our council. Alright, now, I guess our council is kind of, I guess, pragmatistic-y and such. And glory hounds and such, and no one's really kind of upset with us because we don't have many people to push around. Let's look at some of our realm laws. We are presently on agnatic seniority. The oldest member of your dynasty inherits all titles. Your oldest child will generally disapprove of this law, but all other members of the dynasty will approve. Only mayors can inherit. So this is important for our Merchant Republic stuff. So seniority is actually kind of useful for that. So if you have any brothers and sisters, Cosmo, they'll just have to deal until you're dead. We can change the gender laws potentially, but not for at least 10 years, which can make cognatic sort of things involved. The realm, the crown laws of the Free City Bravos apply to the city of Antarionos. Okay. We also got some obligations and council type stuff. Now, opponents. So, I want to start changing any of this. I'll have to start schmoozing my dudes here. But first, before I do any of that sort of stuff, I kind of want to look at some of the options here. Flourishing, excellent. Specifically, start trade posts about, and preferably fantastic type places here. Now they're already kind of building this sort of trade post such here. We should probably build one in our own type place here. We could also build a refuge. 100 gold. A fort. Yes. Alright, so I guess maybe one question is, how good is our income here? It's maybe not the best, but I would prefer to have a trade post here, but that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, just kind of looking around, seeing what sort of situations I can get rolling here. Yes. Kind of. Maybe. Yeah, we're going to build a trade post here. 150 gold! Oh gosh. Now, I can also build another one here, I think. Is there a limit to the number of trade posts I can have? No. That would be kind of funny to take it from this other guy. He'll probably be very upset, though. So it might be smarter to do it here. It's not owned by another merchant republic. His personal wealth, at least that. Yes. Just kind of looking around for some of the best spots to build these. This might be a good spot as well. 178.9. What? Why is it so expensive? I don't know. All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put it up here, I think. Probably made the worst decision in the entire game just then. This is my liege council. Now, I am on the liege council, so there might be people coming to bother me about all that. So we've already looked at the laws. There is the military. We can raise up a couple thousand guys. That's pretty cool. And I don't believe there's retinues, at least for Bravos here. Or I'm not sure if it's in general. I haven't looked at all the various stars and such. We can build some. We can have some boats up. That's pretty cool. We already kind of looked at this. Factions. There's no factions right now. We can start one. Lower Crown Authority depose the Sea Lord Roro. And religion. Yeah, things looking pretty good on the Moonsinger faith. And finally, the most important thing for a republic is the good old elections and such. Now, we're really not in the running for to become the Sea Lord here, because one, we're not really that old. We're only 34, and you get bonuses to your respect by being old. You also get more bonuses by having prestige and having money that you put into a campaign fund. So if I wanted to spend all my money, all 16 of it, I can only get that high. And the higher respect you get is the more closer you can get to having your election be successful. So it's sort of, you know, merchant republics can make a lot of money, but in order to keep on top, you really kind of need to have yourself in a position where you are spending a lot of money constantly. Alternatively, you kind of let things happen occasionally. Anywho, I think I'm ready to get the party started now. Let's roll. Yeah, we're moving forward, guys. Hope everything doesn't implode. Okay, one of your scouts reports of a cunning eunuch who has taken up residence in a nearby tavern. The eunuch spends his time drinking wine, eating, and sharing stories with the guests. Apparently, he is very well schooled and has vast knowledge of medical mixtures. An offer of gold and food would definitely convince him to take up residence as your court possession. I spend 10 to get this Zero guy, who's a eunuch, who is shrewd, who is authoritative, who is a renowned physician, which gives him some bonuses to his learning and such, and arbitrary, so he's like, I guess I'll kind of maybe treat you. He's proud and gluttonous too, which is perhaps a little annoying, but we'll load up a cart with cheese and wine. Go for it, man. He's also like a amateurish plotter, which is kind of weird. Well, West is about to request council support. It's been received from, I don't know, maybe. So is this guy in part of my council now? Yes, he is now my court position. Okay, yes. What do you want here? Please support me by voting with me in the council. If you agree to do this for me, I'll henceforth owe you a favor. Ooh, interesting. Is there anything important going on? I don't really know. Sure, I'll accept. One character owes me a favor. So I'm going to have to make sure to use that before he dies. So at this point, I potentially have 3 holdings. I should probably send my council members out to do stuff here. Alright, so first off, I think I want to start fabricating some claims on some stuff. Perhaps grab something from another merchant-y type person here. Specifically like one of these old guys. So I think I could take this guy in a fight. Does he have any friends? Lovers? Rivals? Concubines? Pax? Pax Romanas? Now, I think I'll work to get a claim on you here. So doing away with your situation that'll be awesome. Improve holdings, success, failure, pacify province, improving the military organization there. Improve defense, but the Castellan in charge of the inspecting and improving your local defenses. Isn't that like just a word that Doctor Who made up? Castellan. Overseas province, suddenly oversee the administration of a province. I think we're gonna work on, I guess we're not gonna improve holdings. We can do these other ones here. Let's go subject religion converted. Counting, oh, this sounds like converting. And fort size increase, garrison size increase. Local tax modifier, I think is probably the best one we want to go with right now. Suppress revolts, train troops, train children. Auto swordsmanship. I don't know, we're going to work on training troops. We're going to see about growing our power base before we start improving ourselves. Collecting taxes, always a wonderful thing to have. And build a spy network. Scheme. Sabotage economy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to this guy. Perform charity. Local revolt risk -7. Vassal impressed. Proselytize. I can't do anything about that. Perform charity, which will reduce our revolt risk. Place is templed by mob. Some good stuff. There's some bad stuff. So let's just kind of do the good stuff. Hopefully. All right, well, that's pretty cool. We got some people doing here. So all right, let's move forward. Move forward again. So there are some general goals for this campaign. All sorts of crazy stuff happening here that involve perhaps once Westeros is a little bit more united, seeing about maybe getting a relative or something like that in charge over there. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to pull it off, especially with this kind of start, but we're going to see. So there's never been any shortage of soldiers. Very good. Let us hope so. I hereby invite you to the Grand Feast in Bravos. Your presence at the feast would be greatly appreciated and look forward to your attendance. Oh no. You are cruel. Well, no, that's me. I will travel to the feast. I will be marginally cool with that. Piety. A pious man. Sea Lord Roro greets you, greets us warmly to his feast. Wine was served and the most delicious aroma came from the kitchen. Thank you for having us, Roro. Roro. My courtier Narbia is exerting herself in her studies. I am starting to despair. What can she do? He's slothful. Loses slothful. Can gain diligent. Or 20, you know. I think I like you. What is this here? Idolizer. Okay. It's like looks different for some reason. I don't know. Diligent. Get it, kid. No, you're just slothful. Dang it. Alright, you are 14. You are an idolizer. Get educated, kid. Because I command it. Sea Lord Roro's feast is over and it's time to begin the long way home. After food and entertainment and the warmth, real world suddenly feels cold and hostile. Like super hostile. Yes. Will there be a feast next year? I hope so. I like free food. Yes, things are starting to happen here. The 7 kingdoms of Westeros here. They're doing the things. Rebel leader. Okie dokie. But yes, they're fighting some wars. Conquest of the Iron Isles now. So the way the wars work here are a little different here in this mod. Because I believe it's like these guys are like, we don't want to get involved, or we're going to be on the other side or something. Because we are dealing with top tier type peoples. Trade post has been built in the Valentine family. Okay, excellent. Very nice. Hey, so we got a trade post. This will help us with our income. So speaking of constructions, there are a few different things here. Namely, the technology. There is no technology. People do not advance technologically in the world of Westeros here, so... the Song of Fire of Ice and all that. 750 gold, yeah. So we can build some of these things, but other things we can't. Well-stocked wine cellar. So I suspect some of these things maybe appear if there's certain conditions and events and such, but, you know, they're not going to appear overnight. Trade galley belonging to the Valentine merchants. Ellie's been taken by the Kraken. Oh no. Curses! I needed that money. Trade boat has been built. Excellent. The Dwarven Hills. Alright, one of our ships has returned from the fallen port with a cargo of rare spices of the very finest quality. The word is spread throughout the Bravos, and the local nobility is already lining up at the docks, pleading for a chance to buy some of our precious cargo. The spice must flow. Yeah, I'll take 40 gold. One ship sunk by the Kraken, another one shows up with a bunch of spices. It's one spicy meatball, as they say. So I guess I could seize the marshes, trade posts, but yeah, that's maybe not the most intelligent move here. Who owns this here? Is it you, Rural? City of Theranos. I'm here to invite you to the Grand Feast of Bravos. Your presence at the feast would be greatly appreciated. I look forward to your attendance. Sure, more free food! He really likes these feasts here. So we have 3 trade posts, and the next in line, I guess, have 2. DrIzixs, very, this Roa's very good. I want to get as much of these as possible so I can make as much money as possible, because I'm making like, 11, 13, 10. They're making 9s and 6s and such. I enjoyed company. We talked in the garden for several hours until we both fell asleep. Maybe because of all the wine we drank. I now have a friend. Hooray! Alright, the feasting has begun. The endless courses Sea Lord Roro ordered are impressing guests. The pinnacle of these is an enormous pie, surmounted with smaller pies forming a crow. The crested large pies are silvered all round and gilt at the top. Each pie contains a whole roe deer, a gosling, 3 capons, 6 chickens, 3 pigeons, 1 young rabbit, and no doubt to serve as seasoning or stuffing, a minced loin of veal, 2 pounds of fat, and 26 hard-boiled eggs, covered with saffron flavored with cloves. This is vaguely ridiculous. You said it, man. Alright, so this feast is over. Okay, yeah, well, that was kind of crazy, but Cosmo never shows every sign of being infatuated with Narba. Yeah, he follows her everywhere, and Narba is seemingly quite smitten. How sweet. Maybe it'll pass. Separate them. Nah, I'm gonna be like, oh, how sweet. It's like a young love. Young love. Hey, took over for your dad. Neat. Yeah, if I just maybe murder some people, I could become the next Sea Lord. Maybe I should do that. I'm not gonna get much power here. People like him too much. Dang it. How's the conquest going? Hang on. An important part of ruling realm is learning how to delegate. This is something you've finally realized, and your stewardship has improved as a direct consequence. Nice. You're still fighting the Iron Isles, it looks like. Yes, you're winning too. Close friend of Master Oro of the Sea Lord's Palace has served as the Sea Lord's counsel for some time now. His position he is well suited for. Truly, there is nothing better. Okay. Alright, so the just thinking here for a moment here. My council, my liege council. Number of voters, 3. I don't know. What am I? I'm apparently a pragmatist. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. My liege, since I arrived in Antiornos, there's never been a shortage of soldiers. Very nice. Merchant republics. And, I'm pleased to hear that after a period of peace and shrewd management, the country of Antiornos is doing very well. People are happy and tax collectors reporting record intakes. Yay, we're prospering. My young courtier has finished her education in learning philosophy and religion. Seems she has learned all the basic skills required. Excellent. Dutiful academic. Woot. That means she gets +3 learning. Nice. Unmarried heir. He's 14. I don't know. So first off, is there any geniuses about? Always the best. Around. Fashionable. Hey, he's a dwarf. Can marry him to her. That could be a tad amusing. Alright, so next up, we're going to go with stewardship, because that's important for Merchant Republic. And someone that he might like. Antiornos, the Moon Singers. How about her? She's zealous, which is pretty cool. She's kind of lazy, but maybe she'll get over it. She's just, which helps with the stewardship, and quite honest, so she's hopefully unlikely to try to sleep around on you. So, have fun with the kid. There we go. Yes. Yes, Lord Ternezio of the Diavers Hills. Give me your Alia. Go for it, kid. suggested that they get married. Very nice. So now my heir, who still using the kid's portrait, is now married. As I've gotten married, it is customary for a dowry to be paid. Following effects. The groom paid to the groom's house. There is no one to pay it. Convenient! Or inconvenient, depending on how you think. So I could host a wedding for Cosimo, and so this will take 20 gold, national vote reduction, plus 10 vassal opinion, which would be pretty cool. And yeah, sure, do it! Alright, I've given the orders for a grand ceremony and feast to be hosted in Antonianos, in honor of Cosimo, Valentin, and Alia's wedding. Let the preparations begin! And all my vassals will be there, all like 2 of them. Let's march forward. Now, another thing with good old, merchant publics is you get a house, you got like a special estate, which you can build all sorts of crazy stuff in, like mansions and such. But it takes a fair bit of money, so we're not going to be doing this quite yet, but dragon pits. What is the stupid levy size plus 10%? I'll maybe look at some of this stuff here. Galleys. A lot of this gives you general like troops and such. No, some of them, Hawaiian seller specifically, gives you a fertility. 4 to 5 volts, tax income plus 4. That might be something to look into. Your Lord Treasure, Dario, has grave news. Part of the castle where the guests would be staying would have to be repaired, or else we couldn't guarantee the guests' safety. It'd be rather costly, but Dario assures the repairs would be worth the cost. Let the guests suffer. No, I'm gonna take the procedure. And the best part of holding a wedding is organize the whole event. I will spend lavishly on our house, show our house power. Spend enough to make it nice. He's just a kid. We're not super rich yet. Yeah, spend 25 gold. Those preparations for the wedding have now been made. Now I only have to send out the invitations. I hereby invite you to the event of the season, Cosimo and Alia. Get hitched, yo. And I opened the door. I saw no one, but as I stepped aside to close it, a group of acrobats cartwheeled, somersaulted, and tumbled in. They performed all sorts of tricks, and everyone exploded with applause and laughter when they were finished. Sure. It'll be perfect for my feast. Yeah, so there seems to be a lot of things that are sort of using the feast events, like weddings. The guests have finally arrived. All's ready. The servants have been working all day to get the dance hall. Ali is going to splendid, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to the wedding. Is greeted. Very nice. Now Ali and Cosmo stand before the gods to take up a holy vow of marriage. The great lords and ladies of Antioros look on as he drapes the arms of House Valentin around the bride to finally seal their marriage. And now for the feast. Consume! I said consume. It takes weeks to do a feast. The feast is winding down. Now only the bedding remains. Oh my. Cosmo and Alia are stripped of all garments by the revelers, who make many a bawdy joke along the way. They are then finally bundled in the bedchambers, where they are finally left alone. A fine tradition. Yep. Yep. The morning after the wedding, feast has come, and all the lords and ladies are finally making their way home. All is greeted with a fine celebration, and many predict the newlyweds shall be most content. I had great fun, and so did everyone else. Holding a wedding will be removed, gain 10 prestige, and my 2 vassals who showed up will be like, yeah, cool. Alright, well, that was interesting. And I think I'm going to end it here. That was our first episode of DrIzixs Plays Game of Thrones and Crusader Kings 2 here. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, of course, and do the whole like, subscribe sort of dealies, let me know what you think. Tell me what I'm doing horribly, horribly wrong, because once again, I am new to this mod, so there's probably a lot of craziness that I'm going to be screwing up here. And we're going to also be kind of paying attention to what's going on in Aegon's land here. Yes. Aegon's landing, sort of. There's a lot of people here. Iron Isles are like, we're losing. the certain people that are not helping out the Iron Isles Emperor title dude here, that they're kind of like, yeah, we're just sort of not able to actually fight them because there's very little territory for the Westeros crown here to totally poke. Anyway, so that's the first episode. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Until next time, everybody. Turtles. Woohoo!